Let's go.
Let's talk some toys in here.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Today it's Manchild. Okay, so today for review, we're going to take a look at the new Masters of the Universe Origins Sketchbook Series Sy-Klone figure. So pretty cool. We get another Sketchbook Series figure added to the line. It's the second one, or technically the third, because the first one was a 2-pack with Grizzlor and Hordak, which I reviewed, mixed a lot of parts around, and that was a really fun, cool pack to have. And I gotta say, seeing Sy-Klone added next for the Sketchbook Series or concept is pretty neat. Yeah, total redesign, or at least what he initially was going to start as or be. And then, of course, we know what the vintage one looks like and what he kind of added, ended up being in the end. But I like this. It's different. So yeah, you get a visor helmeted head, but yet regular skin underneath if you're going to use that head. He comes with a metallic torso or like armor. Almost looks like some type of battle armor. But you still have the big lenticular chest sticker window shield in the front. However, now you don't have the planetary, solar system radar. It's like spinning vortices or wind effects, I guess. That's cyclonic effects, but energized. And when you move them, they do change colors, so that's interesting. Looks like the arms and legs are, I want to say King Hiss parts from the Origins, right? But obviously casted orange. You get a new blaster, and then, of course, you get another Sy-Klone head that I guess was starting to, when they were creating this figure with the illustrations, was going more to the Sy-Klone we know, but still different. The blue face, the yellow helmet that you can still put on his character, obviously, because we don't know what's underneath. There's no blue parts showing, so this head could work on that body. At the same time, this head might also work on the regular Origins Sy-Klone, which we'll try. So let's take a look at some of the illustrations. I'm going to just kind of move the box around because there's a lot going on. So if you move it to the left-hand side, looking from the window, so this is like the finalized Sy-Klone or the regular one that we all have in the Origins now. And then, of course, here's the Sketchbook Series one here. Get ready to do a punch. And it looks like you have, all right, again, here's a Sketchbook. He has a tornadic effect, like he's spinning his whole body here, right? Because you can see the scaled legs like this, so that's definitely that figure. Here's the alternative head, obviously, but now colorized. And then if you turn the box this way, here's a finalized version of this character as far as sketch, but again, all painted up, colorized, looking pretty cool. And then if you drop to the top of the box, or move up to the top of the box, so you got, all right, so this is this character once again, but now he has an alternative head on, it looks like to me. Same head, yeah, same head. What else going on here? A lot going on. You have, all right, here he is, and it's interesting. So see that lenticular piece that's spinning around the main chest plate. Yeah, it actually has like an energy effect that's, wow, what's going on here? I'm trying to see. It's wrapping a person up in some type of tornado, and then you see the head. Huh, it's interesting. I gotta take a better look at that. I'm trying to see. It's almost like it's making a person dizzy. See him laying there? I guess the whole concept of it. And then at the very top, all right, so we have the Masters Universe. It almost feels like a sticker. It's pretty cool. Popping out, colored. Now it looks like the regular Sy-Klone, and then here's the sketchbook one once again. And he's using the tornadic effects out of his hands, which the regular Origin Sy-Klone came with originally, and I will try on his figure to mimic that. They should have gave him one. And then let's spin it around from the back. Do one of these, and look at that art. Little, as I always say, like it reminds me of some kind of like mini poster art. So we have the main sketchbook Sy-Klone, and it's all colored, obviously. Fighting Monstroid. That was a cool piece for Vintage line. I had that as a kid, and you would twist the head up, and you can actually put figures in the claws, and it would spin around as mechanical. I'd love to see that remastered. It had cheesy legs, but the Origins could do a better job with it now. I don't know if we'll see one, but I would definitely love to see that in the Origins. And look at this. You have, this must be a concept of like Too Bad, I'm going to guess. Concept art of that figure. I'd love to see that too. Maybe we'll have that coming with this line. Moving over here, so we have, again, just more sketchbook. Pretty much what we've seen on the front. Just different sketchbook pencilings of, this Sy-Klone. Doing different things and poses and action kind of things going on. And then if you drop down to the bottom, this is like a quick bio inspired by original concept art and, what's the whole idea of it is. Okay, here's a quick look around at the new sketchbook Sy-Klone out of package with all its accessories. So, taking a closer look at this sketchbook Sy-Klone's head sculpt. Yeah, really interesting. You know, it's quite different, obviously, than the regular release Sy-Klone, but it still has a, it's a helmeted head with the face showing, but now he has a visor. That's, yeah, pretty cool. It's, obviously sticks out from the main helmet, as you can see. It's got like a black lens inside. You can see the overall face sculpt. So he's, I don't want to say human, but maybe he's in an android or something. And that's where, as far as the overall design of this figure, kind of reminds me of like a 1970s futuristic space android. It has that kind of vibe. And that's maybe what it was going for at the time when this figure was probably being created in the late 70s, early 80s, when the vintage Motu line was coming around. So, yeah, pretty neat. You got, okay, little mechanical ear muffs is all part of the helmet. With little pieces sticking out so you can hear, I guess. You have these little, I guess they're sensors or something on the main helmet. They're raised out or sculpted out, painted yellow. You have the fin sticking up over the top of the helmet, as you can see. Here's a look from the back. A little extra, mechanical details going on. And as far as articulation with this helmeted head on the body, you can look all the way to the left, the right, go down and back. I wonder if, just trying to see if no, the visors, it's all sculpt. Everything looks like it's all part of sculptor. Maybe the face. Let me see. I think the face in this piece is a separate piece under the helmet, but it doesn't look like something. There's no head under the helmet. It's kind of like two different things going on there for the most part. But just to double check, 'cause I'm not sure. Let's pop the head off. Right, so there's a better look at the ball peg. And, okay, there's a better look at the inside. So, yeah, the face is a separate piece. I want to say with the visor glued into the helmet. Right? So let's get that out of the way. Just anybody wants to do customs. Dropping down. So, yeah, again, you have it's a metallic style battle armor kind of setup. Very mechanical. And then you got a big lenticular chest sticker. As I already mentioned earlier, it looked like some kind of wind vortices or energized maybe. And you notice there's 3 different colors going on the pattern. So you got green, yellow, red, but like the lenticular sticker would do as you like kind of rotate them all back and forth. Check that out. All 3 of the colors, it seems to alternate colors between all these little spinning effects. Right? So this thing would be red if you go, like, say this way, it goes yellow. And if you twist around, it kind of goes greenish. And it does the same with all 3 of them. That's pretty cool. And again, that's like a spinning, that's his weapon from what the sketch art showed on the box. We would fire some kind of wind effect, like on that guy that was laying on the ground. You can see, yeah, all the different mechanical details on the armor. Right? You have circuitry on the bottom here. And what's interesting, too, is up top, this almost looks like this could be a hinge. And this dome or piece would be able to, like, pop open and raise. I thought it did at first, but I don't think, let me see. Again, just like the head, I'm not sure. Nope, it's just all sculpted in, but that's what I'm guessing, supposed to represent. Like, this thing could swing up. Would have been cool if it could do that, but it doesn't, from what I see. And then spinning the back of the arm around, again, you have like, you have more circuitry. I don't know if these are supposed to be thrusters or cooling fans to cool this, this reminds me of, too, like a cyclotron that creates like proton particles or something like that. It might be something to do with that. Nuclear power reactor on his chest. I don't know. But these could be either cooling fans or thrusters. So it's neat they have that detail sculpted in the back of the armor. So you can spin at the waist as far as articulation, come apart at the waist, put them back together. Now, the other thing I should mention too, breaking them apart at the waist, is obviously he does not have an action feature like the Origin Sy-Klone or Vintage had. And that's going to be a bummer too, because I can't really switch a lot of parts around. I would have changed like the lower parts of the regular Sy-Klone on this body with this armor and the arms, but there's no point because the regular Origin Sy-Klone, if you have him, he does not come apart. He pops up and he has a spinning action feature, very comparable to what the Vintage did, which is cool. So we're very limited to that. Anyway, he does not have an action feature. So at the time they were designing his figure, I guess that wasn't part of the idea, and it came along later with the regular figure. That makes sense. Moving up to the arms. So, yep, looks like King Hiss style arms, right, with the plates. Obviously cast in orange color. Let's make sure they still come out of the armor. I don't know why they wouldn't, but yep, okay. So there's a look at the arm and better look inside the armor. Customs, as far as the articulation with the arm on the armor, should all be the same, but let's test it out. So we can go up, down, forward, back. You have the, you can bend at the elbow, spin at the elbow, go all the way to the face in the center of that chest, their body, which is neat. He has like a newer style glove, gauntlet slash part of the glove, which is all part of this forearm sculpt, painted blue over the orange. Both sides are exactly the same, and then of course he comes with 2 weapon gripping hands. These can spin, and the hinge joints will go in and out. And then the left arm should be all the same. But let's test it out. Up, down, forward, back, straighten the elbow out, bend, spin, go all the way to the face, the body. Same gloves already mentioned, or gauntlet glove, and hand can spin, and the hinge joint go in and out. Nothing different. And then dropping down their waist, so this looks like a trapjaw style loincloth kind of thing, right? Just cast it in this blue color to match the gloves and the boots. And yeah, so we took apart at the waist. Again, King Hiss style plated armor for the pants. And as far as articulation, go out with a split. Kick forward, go back, bend at the knee, spin at the knee. I figure it looks good. I test all this stuff out. You know, sometimes it becomes very repetitious with articulation, but it's good to test it out. Some figures are just terrible. Some work well, some don't. But kick forward, go back, spin at the knee, bend at the knee. So that feels good. The joints in this figure. Okay, the side feels good as well. And then taking a look at the boots, it looks like a newer style boot from what I can see. I've never seen these in the Origins before that I remember anyway. Has like the little lines sculpted in, very similar to the gloves. And you can spin at the boots. Of course, they can come off the feet. And then you got the foot that can go up and down, and has like a rocker joint in it, can rock side to side. And the other boot, is all the same, spin, right? Moving forward, taking a look at this sketchbook Sy-Klone's weapons and accessories. So here's a quick look at the alternative head that's included with this Sy-Klone. Yeah, pretty neat, I think. I do like the regular Origins one better. Now, I would say the colors match the regular Origins Sy-Klone kind of close. The helmet looks a little more pale, I think, and so does the face, but I think it will work. Anyway, check out the red eyes. That's interesting. Just different details in the face, like bumps coming off the chin on the sides of you can see them inside the helmet. Now, this head, too, is like it's its own piece glued inside the helmet. He has that metallic blade ring going all the way around the main head to where the vintage or regular Origin Sy-Klone is red, so it's metallic. He has like a raised metallic knob of some sort. And then you even have these black holes that they feel like they're sort of sculpted in and painted black. Almost like vent holes or something going around the helmet, so they remind me of. And then here's a look at the overall helmet in the back. And then here's a look at the blaster that's included. Now, yeah, I wish they would come out with an accessory pack with blasters, just different style blasters for the Origins figures. We really need them. There's a lot of these characters don't come with blasters. But yeah, really cool design. Has the fins on the sides. You have the main fin up top. Looks very similar to the fin on his helmeted head. Here's the hand grip. You got like a couple coils going around the main barrel. Here's a look at the barrel nozzle. Once again, jumping back over to Sy-Klone, let's put his blaster in hand. Doesn't matter which hand you put it in, because they both have gripping hands. All right, there's a quick look at Sy-Klone with this head on, holding his blaster. Pretty cool. And then, of course, let's change out the alternative head. So let's pop this head back off, and let's put the alternative Sy-Klone head on this armor or body. And there's a quick look at that setup. So we have the alternative head on this sketchbook Sy-Klone body. I put the blaster in the left hand for something different. And as far as the articulation with this head on this armor or the body, look all the way to the left, the right, look down, look all the way back. Yeah, it's an interesting looking head, with that helmet, but it just kind of feels off. It's because the helmet's yellow. If it was orange to match the suit, or this was yellow to match the helmet, like the regular Sy-Klone, I think it would fit much better. But it can still work, and who knows what colors are underneath the suit, even though his face is blue, could be blue and we just don't see it. So it is Motu, you can mix things up, right? And then the other thing I want to do with this setup, or actually I'll put this head on too, I want to use this whirlwind effect. So this whirlwind effect came with the regular vintage Origins Sy-Klone. It came with 2 of them. You could put 2 in each hand. I'm just going to put 1 on for now. All right, so if you go back to the sketch art real quick, show you what I'm talking about. Right, we can see this Sy-Klone. Here he is here with that head on, doing a whirlwind effect. Then here's a quick look at that setup. So once again, we have the alternative head on the sketchbook Sy-Klone body, the regular Origins tornadic effect in the left hand, blast in the right. Pretty cool, and this can spin all around, and it can still articulate because of the little hinge joint inside the arm. If you're not familiar with this piece, Or you can put it on this side, or you had two of them, which, again, I have on my other Sy-Klone. You can put one in each hand. I like having a hand free with the blaster just by itself, and then just putting one of these on. And, of course, he has a regular Origin-style peg. It just pops out of the arm. I didn't show that. Pretty neat. Yeah, he should have came with one of these, I think, going back to that sketchbook piece on the art or box. And let's remove the alternative head. Camera. Let's put this head back on, just like it showed. Get this out of the way. All right. We didn't have the blaster in hand. We'll keep it in hand. And there's a look at that. Sy-Klone with the rolling effect. Regular head on. As I mentioned, blaster. So, once again, moving forward, taking a look at our comparisons or comparison. So, I really only have one comparison. It makes sense to this figure, character. So, here's a quick look at the regular vintage-inspired, as I call it, Origin Sy-Klone against our sketchbook Origin Sy-Klone. Yeah, really different, obviously. Colors, the design, you know, this, of course, was trying to go for something with similar to what this ended up. But, yeah, look at the helmets. Now, this one, as I already mentioned, has the action feature. You can see there's a little knob. Again, for people who aren't familiar, this one also had a backpack included that was sculpted on. It could snap on and off the back, and it has this 2000X inspired lunar ring, which was a neat addition to this figure because the regular Origins one didn't have that. Here's a tornadic effect, obviously, on the left hand, right? And you can put it on the right. I just like leaving one on. What else? He came with the yellow Saturn-like shield. The lenticular sticker in this character had the cosmos going on, where you can detect everything, and as you rotate it, the radar band would go around and around. Yeah, just the head. All right, so let's see the head. You had rings on the boots. I mean, very, very different, obviously. Now, the other thing, all right, going back to this one, the way it would work, you just pop the waist up, and you could, this little dial, spin around and around and around, or you can go the other way with it. Right, and then of course these things, if you have them on, or depending on the position of arms, you can just you can have a lot of fun with it and put this ring up. And I already reviewed this figure, and most people are familiar with it. But again, this is for people who aren't. That's a really cool action feature. However, you cannot come apart at the waist, so we can't really switch parts around, as I mentioned earlier. You know, legs don't usually come off these figures without a lot of heat. Now this one too, there's the legs. Let me see something. No, they look like standard. They're not like the new cartoon figures where legs can pull off. You have to really put a lot of heat to remove these. They're kind of like not meant to come off, but you can remove them. It's not something I'm going to do on camera. Try to switch legs and stuff around. What else we got going here? I talked about that. Look from the side, spin around, look from the back. I mean, very different, obviously. As I mentioned a couple times. And then the other thing is, so, all right, so we switched out the tornadic effects, or at least I gave him one, which is cool. Yeah, not much else we can really do with side to head. So let me get him out of the way, going back to the regular Origins Sy-Klone. Now, let's take this alternative head for a quick comparison. I just want to match up. Actually, you know what? Okay, the colors on the helmet they're almost identical under my lights. This look a little flat, but very close. The side, he has a steel ring, he has a red one. It's okay. All right, so let's remove the head on this Sy-Klone real quick, and let's put the alternative head on and see what that looks like. And there's a look at that setup. So, yeah, really cool looking head. Can work good on this body for an alternative version of a Sy-Klone head because of the yellow helmet and the blue face, right? And of course, as I mentioned, this is metallic, so it doesn't really match the red parts, but who cares? As far as articulation with this head on this regular Origin Sy-Klone body, look all the way to the left, the right, go down and back. It does stand off the ball joint pretty far, you know, it doesn't go all the way down. Spin him around and around. Well, I've got to engage him first. Whoop. Like this, and there he is, spin around, 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 like that. And then the other thing I want to do while we're messing around with this figure, I'm going to lock that. Let's pop this head off, and let's put this alternative head on, like, you know, like it was on this one, because even though the face is different, what's cool again with the Sy-Klones, we don't know what's underneath the bodysuit. Could be a regular human, could be blue skin human, like he was designed with the face, but yeah, let's put this on, see what that looks like. Okay, there's a look at that setup. So we have this sketchbook regular helmeted head, right, on regular Origins Sy-Klone body. I did put the blaster in hand, give him something different, remove the yellow shield. Yeah, neat look. You can make it work. As far as the articulation with this head on the body, let's see, you can look all the way to the left, to the right, go all the way down and back. And same thing with this design of his head. It stands really far off the neck to where the regular Origins, Sy-Klone head, and most heads seem to fit down more, which is okay. But, yeah, interesting look for this character. With that set up one more time, engage the body and spin him around and around and around. And then one last time, jumping back over to the sketchbook Sy-Klone body. I put the regular Origins Sy-Klone head on. with the shield in hand. I'm just going to keep this tornadic effect on the left hand, just something different. We know what he looks like with the hand on, or the blaster. And there's a quick look at that setup. So it gives him something different. At least the helmet can sort of match the shield, mix the colors up. And as far as the articulation on his head, on this armored body, we'll go way to the left, the right, look down as far as you're going to go back. That's about it. Alright, so that about does it. That's my review on a new Master Universe Origins Sketchbook Series Sy-Klone figure. I think it's a solid pickup if you like this series. Comes with a really cool box, like a lot of these figures are coming with. Just a whole unique, different design over the regular Sy-Klone. You know, if you like that. And I'm a sucker for alternative variants and translucent effects and weapons and you name it. So, yeah, I knew I was going to get into the series. I like what they did with him, but to be honest, nothing's going to top the Sy-Klone. He's probably my favorite figure in the Origins line. Maybe it's Modulok first, he's second. And this Sy-Klone, too, goes back to a childhood story I told quite a few times where I picked him up, did like a 10-mile round trip to bike ride to Child's World, came home, got attacked by a dog, bringing my Sy-Klone package. Again, I told it, but I always think of that when I see the Sy-Klone. This one, yeah, doesn't exactly bring it up, even though it's an alternative early version of Sy-Klone, but radically different. So that's what's cool. You know, it could be a whole different character or soldier as part of this Sy-Klone's army. Interesting sticker, so he still comes with a lenticular sticker, then go round and around, just changes the colors really. Where this one I still like. I like all the little planets and cosmos and a radar thing. That stands out more to me. But this is definitely unique over this character. Again, has his own unique colors, orange, blues. I like the metallic silver armor with this big cyclotron, I'll call it. Interesting helmet with the visor. Unique. I like the blaster. Again, I wish more figures would come with blasters. That's pretty cool. What else? And yeah, he has no action feature, so that's a bummer. And I think he should have come with one of these tornadic effects like they added with the regular Origins Sy-Klone. You know, if you had this figure and two of them, you could sacrifice one. Because that's what it shows on the card art. Could even gave us the same one, but like in a clear version for something different, or kept it blue. So I'll just use this one on this hand if I want to. But yeah, definitely should have came with one of them. And it's interesting you get this alternative head. I like it, but I don't care for it on this body. It's just, yeah, if it had an orange helmet to match or blue helmet or something, just to match, or metallic helmet to match any of these colors would have been a lot better. But it's definitely a cool alternative helmet head on this figure, you know, body, if you wanted to use that. Maybe that's what it was intended for later on. I don't know. But I don't care for it on this body. Aside that, you do get all those little parts, and it's an interesting looking figure to the concept series. If you want to collect them, pick them up. So if you like this figure, head over to Target online now, because I believe they're still in stock. If you ordered them, they're shipping out. Or go check your local Targets. Pretty cool, you know. I can't wait to see more of these sketchbook series figures come to the Origins line. I think they have plans for quite a few of them. So as always, I appreciate everybody watching. Until next time, take care.